Recording, then you can go ahead and begin your presentation.
Okay, let me prepare it. Okay. Okay, do you see my screen?
I do indeed.
Okay. Hello friends, we will talk about downloading digital media. We will talk about should I purchase it or should I download it directly without permission or without credit. We will talk about today. As we all know, on the beginning of the human history, information was stored on the images that are over the cave walls or drawn by humans over stone laps, like in here. With those draws, humans discovered writing and transferred information to the next generation. As we all guess, it wasn't easy on the start because stones are very solid. So drawing something on the this type of materials it's hard. So so we need to write some soft things. So later we have been used materials like a letter or paper to make this process easy, and we write a lot of things on these things. This is the first paper. It was used in China for wrapping, not writing. It was discovered for wrapping. And with the invention of printing machines, sharing and storing the information became more easier, and we transferred information to next generations more easy way. Then we start to collect information, stored books, papers, etc. in a common places like libraries. The physical libraries were important until the 1970s almost, because after these years, digital information came our lives, and digital information age start and becoming a mainstream with personal computers and workplaces computers. So those computers started digital world, and it is evolving day by day. Today we have lots of computers, and it creates lots of raw data. We process it, and we try to understand from data today. With this age, we can separate the information content as a online and offline. Offline means physical books and etc. Online content is a digital version of an offline content, or fully generated new content with computers, like a video games and computer games. It's a totally new data and created with fully computer. In digital world, we can share, edit, or access any digital information easily. We can download it furthermore, and we can do this for any digital book, song, movie, video game, academic paper, written post by other people, or other people thinking about some topics, and their vision about some topics. So on those actions, there's a prohibit those actions, but you need to make some criminal complaint about to digital content, and you need to complain about to some legal places like a government. And this digital world changed the way of access to information, and it affects almost everything in our life. We can have a limited digital experience for some real adventures with the internet, but it is acceptable. We can all accept it, I think. For example, we want to see the northern lights, how appear. So we can access it on YouTube with several videos about it without moving anywhere. In other cases, we need to go to the northern countries to see that magic and see that experience that adventure. So it's as you guess, it's a little bit expensive adventure. You need to fly there and you need to stay there. In other example is if you want to listen to old music groups like Metallica, you can watch a bunch of video about their concerts or their music videos. In other case, you need to go to concert with physically, and you need to spend some money for that also. As I said, we can do all this experience without paying any or spending any money. Of course, we need to pay for internet provider because they spend some money for infrastructure service. So we need to pay it for. Most of time, those contents are free, but not totally free. Actually, there are some advertisements on some of them, but some of them pay it also. You need to pay something for that content. In this digital world, you can create a copy of paid or copyrighted content and share them illegally. So you can pay a music and download it, and you can create a copy of it and share it illegally without a restriction. But it is illegal, as I said. We can see this is a mainstream today, and blocking these illegal actions on the internet is hard. You cannot follow every site, every server on the world. This situation is entirely at the mercy of people who want to access such a content. It is an ethical issue on today. If you want to access such a type of content, you can use a dark web or other sites. There's always a new way to access those contents. So among the young people, cheating from the internet for any task is a routine for many of them on today, because they born into the digital age. So it is an easy way to access information. They believe that if something is downloadable, then everybody can use it without payment. In the realm of authorship, what happens to credits in an area of knowledge, communities, and collaborative work? This is a question, and some individual creators may want to credit for their work to satisfy personal pride, to demonstrate competence and achievement, and to make a living. They need to last their life to generate such a content. They need to make a money for it. Some of them may consider it irrelevant, and they can refuse to make a penny from that content. Maybe they will not need it. Maybe. Let's assume you download a copyrighted music illegally and make some remix on it, and then you are to selling it to others or gaining money over advertisement on the YouTube, as an example. What will you feel when others do the same thing for your content? This is a ethical part and empathy part of to action. Actually, we need to consider this when we do download such a contents without permission or without payment. Let's assume you are in the music store and there is no surveillance system like in person or camera. Would you steal any music CD from store? Most of all will say no. I will not steal. We can say that, but or would you leave the money for it, for example, in an ethical way? According to some latest researches, illegal music downloaders will be more likely than others to indicate they would steal a CD from a music store when the risk of consequences is eliminated. Actually, this is a new thing in the young people, we can say. As I said, young people born into digital age, and they can make such a things. When there is a surveillance, most people hesitated to steal it, I think, except the young people. On the other hand, thanks to digital media, young people live and embrace an infringing culture where they expect immediate access to information and goods. Considered in a more positive light, a new ethics for free culture and collaboration. Freedom of information is if handled properly, can engender a deep respect for the work of others. Use of Creative Commons licenses provides an excellent model for online intellectual property law that both protects the creator and keeps quality work accessible to public. This is important, I think. There are such licenses for that on today. With freedom of information, youth have access to vast resources for learning, experience rich intellectual exchanges, and connect to knowledge as a never before possible. Implications for their future roles as a workers and citizens are stunning in this case. When we consider the freedom of information, also funds remixes in the music industry or copyrighted content can actually increase the visibility, popularity, and success of the original content, yielding a great benefits in the long run for media producers and owners. In short, funds creates more funds who then purchase original content. I think this is the most important part of the freedom of information, I think. That's all for my downloading digital media content. Do you have any questions or thoughts about it?
Okay, so I wanted to be clear. So which position are you advocating? Which position were you saying it was the best?
Actually, I will make. I am contrary of the purchasing. I am contrary of the downloading digital media without purchase, without allowing to other site. So we need to make a purchase, or we need to make some stations to original owner.
Okay. Let's see. So how can we how do we do that? Because I'm sure that as many people have, I'm sure that you know people who have downloaded content. Is there a way to make a reimbursement to the creator of the content if we don't purchase it through a direct source?
Sorry, I couldn't follow up your question fully.
Well, maybe I'll ask a different one. So it was interesting because this topic is interesting because I read a story. It's a long time ago, probably before many of you were aware of computers at all. You were so young, but there was lots of downloadable like sites, programs like Napster or some other Kazaa. Yeah, but there was one music group. I'll have to look up who it was because there was one music group that they offered that you could download their newest album from their website, and you could pay a donation. You could make any donation you want. You could make a $10 donation, a $20 donation, a $1 donation. You could even put a 0 in the field and download the entire album for free. And yet, they still had more downloads from some of these unauthorized sources like Napster and Kazaa and others than they did from their own website, where you could get it legitimately and legally for free.
Actually, I can say it's acceptable because they accept it without payment.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah.
is legal, I think. And it is acceptable for that group.
Yeah. But it was just an interesting story that I had read about that, where it was like people could download it from the original site for free.
Actually, you can download it from their website without payment. So you can access it anywhere. I think it is acceptable.
Yeah.
No need to purchase it from only purchasing from their website. It will not be a good way, I think.
Right. Yeah.
You are accessing information. Yeah.
Make sure I got you. Okay. Any other comments or questions before we end for today? Because I think that no one else is ready to present today, right? I've got Seth, Asma, Mehmet Gorkam, Typhoon, and Uygar for listed for next week. Anyone else? Or do any of those want to go today is the question, I guess. Let's see. I've got Asma's not here. Mehmet Gorkam's not here. Uygar, it looks like you're the only one that's here. If you're not ready to present, that's fine. You're scheduled for next week. And I'll just keep you there.